Mom, please, open the door. I don't want to be locked out here any longer.
You aren't a part of this family anymore. You go out and find somewhere else to live now.
Please. I promise I'll do better this next time. I promise to show you that. So please, Mom.
There will never be a next time. You were born into this family of doctors as their daughter, right? If you're not able to pass medical school the first time around, then you've already gone and embarrassed yourself enough. Hurry up and be gone with you.
But this next time I'll try my best and pass. So just let me in. It's cold out here.
No! From today moving forward, you are no longer going to be a part of this family, as we are cutting ties to you. If you continue to bang on the door like that, we'll have no choice but to call the police. We'll tell them you're trying to break into this house.
But Mom...
Do you have any idea what your recent father would think of you if he heard about how you failed medical school? If anything, it's for the best that he doesn't have to hear about this while being up in heaven. He was fortunate to have passed away before learning that his daughter is a failure.
Why, Mom? Why would you say such horrible things about me? You're always being so awful to me.
Because compared to your sister Rachel, you are nothing more than a failure. She was able to pass medical school in one go and has been one of the top scoring students from that school. Compared to a lost cause like you. Not only have you failed at becoming a doctor yourself, but all those tests you take landed you with low test scores.
I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry that I was never able to live up to the expectations you set for me after her.
I'm so happy that at least one of our daughters ended up on top.
What?
Anyway, I have no plans of letting you back into this house, so hurry up and go somewhere else. And you will not talk with Rachel about any of this either. Actually, I don't want you talking to her at all. Right now she's on her own, going out into the real world to become a very amazing doctor. She will not have any failures around her causing her any kind of disruption. All right?
All right, Mom.
You would be the downfall of this family.
You're fine. You can come over here. This place is very open, so there's no problem with you coming to a place like this. You and I can go ahead and share the room. Although I won't be around the house all too often while you stay.
Don't worry about it, Rachel. I'll have to be studying and things like that.
By the way, Lexi, why did you end up leaving the house? I never expected you, of all people, to be asking to come over and stay at my place for a while. Did something happen between you and Mom?
Well, about Mom.
What? What did she do to you?
Never mind. It's not like she did anything to me directly. I just ended up failing medical schools all. So she began to compare me to you and made it out as though I'm this huge disgrace to the family and that you were the angel she was expecting from the both of us.
I see. Well, I'm not anything special myself, though. And as for you failing out of medical school like that, you'd been trying so hard there.
I know. But unlike you, I'm even less special than you and didn't try nearly hard enough to make it through that school.
I wonder about that. You happen to be very good at memorizing things, and to me, you're far more powerful than myself when it comes to the books. We both happen to be very special in our own ways, I think. I get that Mom thinks I'm far superior compared to you due to some test results and me making it out of that school, but you and I are sisters, and she shouldn't be comparing the two of us like that. She should be trying to build the both of us up so that we both can succeed. If she's not going to be able to do that for us, though, then let's you and I support one another.
All right. Good idea, actually. Thank you, Rachel.
Man, sharing this place with my sister? This is going to be so fun. So when are you going to be moving in?
Can I come there tonight?
What? Tonight? Well, that's pretty soon, actually. I don't really mind you being here by tonight.
Also, could you refrain from ever telling Mom about you and I living together once I've moved in?
Why? So there really is something more going on between you and her right now, isn't there?
No. Don't get any ideas from that. I don't want you to start thinking that there's anything wrong with Mom, but just know that things at home have changed for me a little bit.
Ah, I see. So that's why you don't want her knowing about this. She may seem like a very nice woman on the outside, which sometimes she is. But when it comes to things within the family, she can be rather strict about them, right? I understand why you'd want to stay hidden from her for a while now. Especially after she started to compare you to me. Well, don't worry about her. I'll do my best to act as though I've never heard or seen anything from you.
Thank you, Rachel.
Why are you at a place like this, Lexi? That was you off to my side just a second ago, right? What the hell do you think you're doing right now?
Mom. Long time no see.
Don't start telling me long time no see, like you and I were ever meant to see one another again. You were cast out of my family, right? Did you forget about that? Why have you come all the way to Rachel's wedding now?
I know that you happened to cut ties with me, but Rachel never told me she was going to cut ties with me. So I have a right to be here at her wedding, right?
You sure do not have that right. You are a disgrace to my family. You do not fit in with the rest of these people at this wedding anymore, so go away right now. I don't want you making Rachel out to be some kind of loser sympathizer or something as disgusting as that.
So you're still going on about how I'm a loser and a failure? You need to stop saying things as childish as that to me, especially since it's been 10 years now since the last time we saw one another. Now calm yourself down and get back to being an adult, please.
What kind of talk is that coming from you? The way you talk to me like you actually mean anything at all. You have quite the mouth on you now for someone who is the failure of her family and nothing more than a disgrace to them now. There's no use in you anymore. Well, no matter. I'll go have a word with the staff here and have them all walk you out of this wedding and lock you outside.
Oh, is that right? Well, go ahead and do so.
Wow, she already found you? Mom is making a very big deal out of the situation now. I was just told by the staff here that my mom is trying to have you kicked out of here.
That's right. That woman hasn't changed one bit, even after a full decade has passed. Can't believe I even still think of someone like her as my mother.
That's true. I feel just as surprised as you do. I'm starting to really lose faith in her and might not be able to continue allowing her to be here.
If you started to put some more distance between her, though, wouldn't she feel pretty lonely in this world? I mean, she's always been bragging about how you're her daughter, as if all your achievements are somehow her achievements as well.
I'm sorry, Lexi. Ever since Dad passed away, I never realized that Mom was being so cruel to you and that you had to suffer through all that without my support.
What are you going on about now? I told you before that I'm not worried about all that anymore. Right after Dad had passed away, you moved out of the house and started to live on your own while going to med school. So you had no way of knowing about what was going on. And actually, the fact that you took me in and cared for me after I was kicked out of the house has left me very thankful to you. Because of your support, I was able to grow myself and get to many places, and I'm no longer afraid of Mom.
But I never really did anything. Hey, let's start preparing for the speech that has to be given today. We only invited her to this wedding for that reason anyway, right? To watch and listen to what we both have to say about her.
That's right. Thank you again, Rachel.
You are still at this wedding, Lexi? If you're not going to budge from this place, I will have to call the police on you. I'll tell them you're looking suspicious and need to be dealt with.
I happen to be the bride's younger sister. There shouldn't be anything suspicious about me being at a wedding I was invited to.
I told you already that you're nothing to her anymore. You're not her sister, nor are you even her friend. I will not allow someone who couldn't make it out of our med school the first time to be a part of my family. You are useless. This is supposed to be Rachel's big day, and I will not let you embarrass her any longer.
Mom, who even are you to Rachel? I was invited to this wedding by Rachel herself. So who do you think you are, where you just get to sit there and complain about the bride's choices?
I am Rachel's mother is who I am. I am far more important than she is because I birthed and raised her. That should make sense to everyone, right?
Is that right? That's one way to put it, I suppose.
So you hurry it up and get out of here. I doubt someone like you even works a job worth mentioning, so we can all just consider you jobless and a lowlife, right? A woman like you that gets kicked out of a family of doctors is nothing more than a stain on society. And I don't ever remember this family inviting stains like you to their weddings.
You still have no clue then.
What?
Right now, I happen to be a doctor. After you kicked me out of the house, I went back and studied even harder, passing at the top of my class before graduating. And right now, I work as a doctor for the university's hospital.
You do? You liar! There's no way a waste of human life like you would be able to become a doctor.
I'm sorry, but I am one now. If you don't want to believe me, though, you can go ask Rachel about it.
Oh, for some reason, I'm sure you might be one. But what does that have to do with anything?
Huh?
I'm sorry that you're feeling so powerful right now just because you're a doctor. But even if you happen to be one now, you can't change the past where you had failed med school and had to try again, right?
And you're absolutely right about that. But I went about things with my own pace and ended up gaining a lot of achievements in the process. That's why I'm able to brag about myself now. I happen to have become a very skilled and professional doctor after all.
Huh! Like that's true at all? Compared to a doctor that had to start all over again and study even more, Rachel is a natural doctor and didn't even have to try in order to become one. And she so happens to have some personal connections. She's on a completely different level than you.
Personal connections.
That's right. Not only is she good at what she does, but she also has some very impeccable communication skills. The man she's marrying is the owner of one of this country's most famous hospitals, right? No matter how much you try to surpass her, she will always be one level too far for you to reach.
Myself to her all the time. I am myself and she is herself. What's wrong with the both of us living two different lives with different goals?
I wouldn't want someone as useless as you who happened to be kicked out of my family to gain too much confidence. That might end up coming back to haunt my daughter and I in the future. Well, anyway, you seem to have become a doctor yourself, so I'll allow you to be at this wedding until the end. But in return for that, you keep the fact that you failed med school the first time a secret. Understand that?
I knew that you were awful. But you really are just the most rotten human of us all. What do you even think of your daughters? If you find that by having one daughter like me who failed a year at school to be such a terrible stain on the life of your other daughter, then what about you? What about the mother of those two daughters that married a doctor and brags about being a family of doctors, never being a doctor herself?
What's that? Why would I ever need to become one?
You married a man who is a doctor. That's all you did. I don't understand why just that one thing led you to believing that this was supposed to be a family of doctors. The only reason Rachel and I ever wanted to become doctors ourselves was to respect Dad and honor him. We never chased after these dreams in order to give you something to brag about all that time.
You really seem like talking crap out of that filthy mouth of yours now, huh? You are still my daughter, all right? You better watch what you say the next time you speak to me.
Didn't you cut ties with me, though? Am I your daughter again? Only because you found out I'm a doctor now? I wonder how embarrassed must feel right now after saying something like that.
Shut up. If you really want to be kicked out of this wedding that badly, then I'll make it happen for you. Rachel, I'm sorry to have to bring this up right as your wedding is about to start. Your sister happens to be very jealous of you right now and is going to try and ruin your wedding in order to make herself feel better.
You think so?
I mean, that woman is still single, right? And for a very long time now, it seems she's felt inferior to you. It looks like she's going to use this wedding to get back at you. So we have to have her kicked out of here right now.
Ugh. Mom, you really need to stop trying to make Lexi look bad.
What? What has gotten into you?
I mean, you're lying to me right now. What do you mean she's jealous of me?
That is not a lie. That woman is planning on ruining your wedding today in order to get back at you.
Let's start with this then. Lexi is not single right now. She's married to Robert's older brother.
What? Robert's older brother?
That's right. The man that's running St. Mary's Hospital right now. They met back in med school and soon after got married while both becoming doctors. And the reason Robert and I were able to start dating is due to those two getting married.
Is that so? I never knew anything about that.
And that's why the two of us were planning on giving a speech for you today.
What? A speech for me? What do you mean by that?
For the longest time now, Lexi and I have been talking to one another. We wanted to find the perfect way of getting back at you for all the trouble you've caused us.
For the longest time now, you've been talking? Have you guys been meeting with one another this whole time?
We have been. After you had kicked her out of the house for good, she had been living with me in the same room. She'd always wanted to start living on her own anyway, and in order to make that work for her, I said she could come and live with me for a little while and I could help her with some of her studies.
Is that so? Well, how nice of you to do that for her. And that's very responsible of her to keep at all those studies. I guess I did have the wrong idea of her after all.
It's funny that you were just lying to me about her in order to get her kicked out of here.
And yet now you're wanting to change sides and act as though you're happy with the way she's turned out? Disgusting, that is. What?
I hope you really enjoy the speech we have planned for you, Mom. We have to make sure everyone here knows about the kind of things you've been doing to Lexi and I.
Wait, what do you mean you hope I really enjoy this speech? Hey, Rachel. Hey, wait! Hey, what the hell was all that about? You are an asshole. That was all a lie.
How was all of that a lie? All of those were things you'd been saying to Lexi all along, right?
But all of that was stuff you should not be bringing up at a wedding, for crying out loud. I'm so embarrassed right now.
Embarrassed, huh? Then would you please leave my wedding now?
What?
Mom, starting today, I'm going to be cutting ties to you. So would you hurry up and leave now? I don't want you around me anymore.
Why, Rachel? I've been so kind to you all this time, right?
That has nothing to do with this. I have learned about all the things you've done to Lexi, and I no longer feel comfortable having you in my life anymore. Everyone at this wedding was shocked when they learned about what you'd done to her, right? Hurry up and leave now. I don't want to see your face ever again.
You're being so heartless. I'm sorry about all of that, so please don't kick me out of here.
I no longer think of you as my mom and would like that you no longer see me as your daughter. I know the only reason you care about her in the first place is for your pride. Am I right?
Well, that's not true at all.
You just wanted to become the mother of doctors. You didn't actually care about being a mother, right? After hearing and seeing all of the things you've said and done to Lexi, I know that's the truth. You should be feeling embarrassed now. I feel embarrassed just by having you at my wedding.
Come on now, Rachel. I've been thinking about the both of you all this time.
I really don't want to talk to you anymore. Just speed it up and leave my wedding, please.
If you don't, I'll have the security come over and toss you out of here. What? All right. Hey, Lexi. I'm so sorry about everything I've done to you. You became a doctor and are now married to the owner of St. Mary's Hospital, right? Oh, that's quite amazing. I really misunderstood the kind of person you'd become.
And? What do you want from me now?
I would like you to forgive your mother. After that speech, I learned exactly what all I was doing wrong and where things went wrong. From now on, I'm going to better myself. So give me one more chance for you and I to...
The only reason you're saying you want to better yourself now is because you realize that I've become yet another kid that you can use to brag about yourself, right?
What?
Had I never gone back and tried again to become a doctor, would you still be asking me to make things right with me right now?
Of course I would be. You're one of my very important daughters, after all. I love you, no matter what you do with your life.
The only person you love is yourself. And now every single person that's at the wedding knows that about you. That's why I think it's time you just left this place and went home. All you're doing now is making yourself look even worse.
Why, Lexi, I have no intention of leaving this place. I have to make sure that the life your father wanted us all to have continues on.
The life Dad wanted. Something tells me it's not what you're after here. Something tells me that the only thing you want to continue is getting money from those around you.
What?
I happen to know about what all happened after Dad passed away. You went and spent all the money Dad had left behind, right?
Hold on, that's
Rachel was kind enough to show me your spending history from the past 15 years, and it looks to us that you had no idea how to save money. I've heard about this from others in the family as well, and how much they tried to talk with you about getting in you to stop what you were recklessly doing. Day after day, you'd go out to eat high-end foods while shopping for only the most expensive brands. You'd always go on about how you were from a family of doctors, yet you were the only one in the family who just sat around all the time spending the money your husband made. You're a freaking joke. Dad left you some $15 million, and it's all gone now, within 15 years.
Who cares? I have the right to use my money however I'd like to, right? I was the one that was allowed to get all his money after he died, so why are you complaining about that?
I never said I was complaining about that. Honestly, you had every right to do what you wanted with that money. What I'm talking about now, though, is that you need to take care of yourself. Both Rachel and myself have no plans of helping you along with money. So you're going to figure out how to support yourself again. Although that might be hard for you considering you've never needed to support yourself for close to 30 years now.
Hold on a second. If you don't help me, then I won't be able to pay for this place. You guys can't do that to me. I've been the one raising you both ever since you were born, right? Do you not feel any kind of thanks for all that I've done?
No, you have not been raising us ever since we were born. Dad was the one taking care of us all the time, and once he died, I don't ever remember you doing a single thing to help us out. The day he passed away, you went and fired the housemaid who he had around who would do everything for us. And then you went forcing Rachel and I into doing all the cooking and cleaning for ourselves. All while you would go out and play with the money and time you were left.
That's,
I get the feeling of wanting to live life like a celebrity, but that means you shouldn't be forcing both your daughters to work hard and succeed. Rather, you should be working hard to succeed yourself. Rachel and I are not here right now to make you feel like you're on top of the world. We never have been. We've just been two sisters that have been wanting to work as doctors out of both respect for our hardworking dad and respect for ourselves. And we've had so much respect for ourselves, actually, that we will not continue to be your pets. So give up on it already, Mom, and go do something with yourself in order to make money or something.
I know that already, but please, Lexi.
If you know that already, then you shouldn't be asking for our help. Instead, you should be helping yourself. You're contradicting yourself right now by asking for our help even though you say you learned your lesson.
Come on, what am I going to do? If I don't at least get something in return from you both, then I'll have no place to go. There won't be a thing that I can do.
Shut up already and get lost, Mom. You wouldn't want to make Rachel look bad on the day of her wedding, right? After that, Mom slowly made her way through the crowd of guests at my sister's wedding, as a lot of them would say some words about her under her breath. Once she got to the door nearest to her, she took one look back at my sister, who was up on the stage with her husband, waiting for her to leave. But of course, Rachel did not say another word to her. She then left the place, and the moment that door slammed shut, we all got back to enjoying the wedding and watched as the vows were said. When my mom got back to her house, she ended up taking one last look at the bill for the month's rent and whatever money she had left in her bank account before she tore the bill to shreds and broke down. Not too long after that, she was evicted by the owner of the apartment complex for not paying rent and had to take all the things she could with her. She then tried to go back to her parents' house, but neither of them wanted anything to do with her after what they saw at the wedding. As of right now, she's not a single person she can rely on for help and is having to live on the streets as a homeless person. I think this gap in her life, going from living like a celebrity to having to beg for money on the streets, has really gone and wrecked her heart and mind for good. She's tried many times now to get back in touch with either Rachel or myself, but both of us ended up blocking her number, so she'll never get anything from us. Rachel also ended up moving after her wedding, leaving my mom with no idea where she went. And she was going to have no chance of finding me, considering it's been 10 years since we last spoke, and she had no idea that I'd even gotten married and moved out of town. I'm really not too sure what that old woman is up to anymore, but considering just how rotten her character is, I'm sure she's doing nothing with her life besides begging for money or living in some dark alley. I know that she was never a great mom or even a great woman in general, but I like to think that the only reason I did continue to work hard and become a doctor was because of how she kicked me out of the house 10 years ago. So although this hurts me a tad bit to say, I am thankful for the moment we had between us. Right now, both my sister and I, being married to doctors who both run hospitals, are going to have such amazing lives, and I can't wait to see what happens next for the two of us. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We'll look forward to seeing you in the next story.
Hey, you no-good, grubby little leech. I want to know just how long you plan on surviving off of all my dad's hard work. Don't you realize we'd all be so much happier if you just got out of our lives? I haven't heard from you in so long, and this is the way you break the silence? I feel like you've been completely ignoring me around the house as well, you know. I really don't know what's gotten into you, but I'm starting to get a bit sick of it. I mean, you're not even cooking the meals that I'm making for you anymore. And just who do you think you are, talking to me as if you're my real mom, huh? You really need to remember your place in this family, you parasite. I'm sorry that you don't like the way I worded things, but I don't see how anything I said was false. I don't care what's true and what's false. I just know that I want you out of our lives. I really don't understand. Why are you coming to me and saying all of this all of a sudden? It's not so sudden for me. I know that my dad and I are going to be just fine on our own. We don't need some outsider leeching off of my family's wealth anymore. I'm sorry you feel this way about me, but maybe you should talk about these feelings with your father first. Then maybe we could all talk about this together with each other. Maybe your dad would even agree to move out and take you somewhere. And just why would my dad have to do something like that, huh? It's his house. If anyone should have to leave, it should be you. I really think that you should talk to your father about this before we carry on with this talk. Besides, I make $100,000 a year. What am I leeching off of anyone? I think you just want me out of the house is all. But what I don't get is what you think you're going to gain by doing so. What am I going to gain? Well, that should be obvious. I'll finally be ridding my family of a disgusting parasite that's been living off of us for years. Even Dad is getting sick of having you around. He's always talking about how he has to work all day, but you always spend all of his money. Meanwhile, you hardly leave anything for him to spend on himself. Did your dad really say that? Even about him having to work every day? Well, it's true, isn't it? You're always coming and going to and from the house whenever you want, but Dad only ever goes to work and comes home, and that's all he has time for, and it's all your fault. You keep a short leash and don't let him live his life the way he wants. I hate what you're doing to him. Tina, I really think that you need to get a grip and reassess the situation. And I don't say that for my sake, but for yours, okay? Just what do you know, huh? Don't pretend as if you know what I want. I know that you're a selfish woman who only ever does things for herself. That's why I want you out of our lives forever. I am trying to tell you that you're making a mistake here. You really need to go and talk to your dad about this. He can explain it all. Let me go and talk to him for a moment, and then I'll come back to you, okay? Can you please just give it a rest already with what you say to Tina?
What the heck are you talking about? I don't really care, but can you lend me some money? I'm almost through my budget for the month, and I need more. Come on. You know that you don't give me enough anyways. Just give me a little more.
You want even more money? What happened to all that I gave you already? How did you spend it all so quickly? Anyways, we're going to be talking about money after I say what I came here to say. You need to have a real conversation with your daughter and tell her the truth about what's going on. The more you put that off, the worse my relationship gets with her. I am tired of her talking down to me, insulting me, and treating me like an idiot because of you, Todd. I am seriously starting to reach my limit. Do you understand me?
I don't know what you want me to do. She's your daughter now too, you know. Go be a good mom and learn how to control your children better.
Control her? Todd, she's already 17 years old. This isn't about controlling her, it's about giving her the information she needs to make her own decisions about life. You have to stop lying to her and telling her false information. She blames me for every single problem we have. It isn't fair that I should be the one taking all of the heat because you don't want to step up and tell her the truth. All of this would be solved if you weren't such a coward.
I will talk to Tina about my life when I'm good and ready to. Okay?
No, not when you're ready to. Now. You've been saying, when I'm ready, for years now. Don't you realize how this is affecting us as a whole family?
Yeah, of course. I know all that. And if you just give me a little more money, I'll really think about saying something. I promise. Now come on. I'm seriously down to my last few dollars. You've got to give me something.
You really are just the worst. Do you realize that, Todd? Hey there, Anna. I see that you've left for the day. You know that you don't need to bother coming back home ever, right? And just what is that supposed to mean? And since when did you start calling me by my first name? I mean that if you're already out of the house, you should stay out. All you do is make things worse, so just keep away. If you have something you want to say to me, why don't you just come out and say it? Well, I actually sent off the divorce papers for you and Dad. That means that you and him don't need to live together anymore. Dad and I are going to live together, and you'll have to go and figure out your own life. So you really did send the divorce papers for your father and I? And just how did you manage to get away with doing something like that? Well, you probably had no idea about this, but Dad had already printed out the divorce papers and kept them in his desk. I happened to see where he put them one day when he tried to hide them from me, and so I dug them out while he was away. I saw that he had already signed his name all where it needed to be. I really do need to thank Dad for being so prepared. So then you sent out divorce papers that your dad had already signed without telling either of us? I have to say that I am shocked at you. And since you don't even have a job, you probably won't be able to find a place to live now, too. I warned you that you should do a little more research into this before acting, but are you sure you really want me out of the house? Of course I am! This is what I've been waiting for forever! I feel like I'm having a dream come true! I'm finally getting to squash the horrible leech that's been on the side of my family for years. I feel at ease. It's like a great burden has been lifted off of our shoulders and the sun has come out after a rainy day. Just the thought of you being cold and homeless on the street is bringing me so much joy! Well, if this is what you really want, good luck, I guess. The one who's going to need luck is you! whatever you say. I guess I'll take my leave from the house then. But I just have one last thing that I think you should know before I leave. And what last pathetic words do you have to say to me? I'm not the one who doesn't have a job. That would be your father. Wait, what is that supposed to mean? I mean that you said your father told you that he goes to work every day. That's a lie. All he does is spend his days at the casino wasting our money. Wait a second, you expect me to believe that? That's just ridiculous. Why would Dad lie to me about working? And why would he be spending all day gambling? I suppose this really is the first you're hearing about all of this then. But it's true. I'm afraid that everything your father said about me was just to protect his own reputation in your eyes, Tina. I don't get what you mean. This doesn't make any sense. Why would he need to worry about his reputation with me? I don't know. You should ask what he would have to gain by belittling me in front of you like he has been. He wanted you to take his side in everything. And you fell for it like a sucker. You defended him no matter what I tried to say, and you believed every lie he told you about me. No, this doesn't make any sense. You better start explaining yourself right this moment. In that case, one other thing you should know is that no matter how much your father put me down, he never wanted to throw me out of the house. And yet little did he know that he was pushing you to do just that to me with all of his lies about me being jobless. No, this can't be right. You're just trying to lie to me because you realize that you're getting kicked out. Well, I'm not listening. You're just some crazy old jealous loser. You can believe me or not. It won't really make any difference. But the truth is that I was giving your father money every month. He hasn't made his money in a long time, and yet you listened to everything he had to say about me. You really don't know when to stop all this, do you? I already said that I'm not listening to a word that you have to say anymore. Again, you are more than welcome to ignore all that I'm saying. But quite frankly, I've had enough of you two as well. But soon you'll be an adult, and you'll have to take responsibility for taking care of yourself. And then you'll have to choose whether to keep living with your father or go out on your own. I've actually learned how to take care of myself for a while now. We don't need you in our life anymore, so just beat it. Well, okay. But you do realize that if I leave, that means I won't be supporting you or your father anymore, right? There you go again, making up more lies. What support have you ever given? You really think that I'm going to fall for that? You act like you've given Dad and I everything when all you've done is taken. I know you're lying, so just stop it already. I'm not trying to upset you, Tina. I really am just trying to warn you. I just hope you don't regret what you're doing. Just shut up already, you old hag. Don't pretend like you're all that when you're really nothing. I never, ever want to see you again. You were never my mother, and I'm glad you're gone. Don't ever think of me as your daughter again. As of today, you're nothing to me. We are complete strangers. Okay then, I understand. I am not your mother, and you are not my daughter. Now, please don't come to me for anything else. Hey! Pick up the phone when I'm calling you, you stupid old witch! Can't you tell that your daughter is panicked? I'm sorry, but I'm in the middle of work right now. Besides, I thought that you said you were going to stop calling me. But you were telling the truth about everything! I know that. What of it? Well, so now I finally know that you were. Please, you have to come back home to us. Dad is so mad all the time. I need your help. I really have no idea what you're talking about. Besides, I don't even have a daughter. What do you mean? How can you say that? I didn't. You did. You told me to never think of you as my daughter again. So I'm sorry that you're having a rough time right now, lady, but that doesn't have anything to do with me. Anyways, goodbye. Hold on a second. Is this supposed to be some kind of joke? I'm your daughter. You can't just walk away from me. I'm sorry, but I've already told you that I don't have a daughter. We're just strangers to each other, remember? Wait, No, you're not really going to abandon me, are you? I didn't know Dad doesn't make any more. And he's so mad at me for sending the divorce papers. He's so scary and angry all the time now. I don't understand what happened. So I guess you finally understand the kind of man your father is now. What do you mean by that? I mean that I was always trying to protect you from him, but maybe that was my mistake. Because he took advantage of that and lied to you about me instead. But I had no idea he was that kind of person. I thought that my dad was kind and sweet, and what should I do now? He doesn't have money, he doesn't work, he doesn't do anything but gamble and drink. I suppose you'd better find a job and start working then. But I'm still in high school. I could only work a part-time job at best, and I have no idea how I'm supposed to go to college at this rate. Yeah, and to think you wouldn't have had to take out any loans if I was still around. What do you mean? You're not going to send me to college either? Well, I had a whole college fund saved up for my daughter, but since we're no longer family, I'm afraid that I can't pass that on to you. So I'm afraid the only option left for you now is to work for your money. Mom, please, you have to help me. Please don't call me Mom. I already told you that I don't have any children. You and I are nothing to each other now, and I owe you nothing. You wanted it this way despite my attempts to warn you, and now you need to take responsibility. You're almost 18, so consider this your first real life lesson. But I had no idea that Dad was lying to me. This isn't fair! How was I supposed to know that you were making all the money in our house? I tried to tell you the truth over and over again, but you just refused to listen to me. Well, then can I at least come and live with you? I hate living with Dad. He's so scary all the time. I'm so sorry for everything that I said to you. I'm afraid that I have a policy against letting strangers stay in my house. Besides, how do I know that you won't just fall into your old ways of looking down on me and insulting me all the time? But I need your help. I don't know what else to do. Well then, take your first step as an adult and figure out what to do. Good luck, stranger. In the end, Tina realized that I was only ever trying to tell her the truth, and that it was her father who was lying to her this whole time. It was quite a shock for her to realize this, and she fell into a deep depression afterwards. Shocked by learning about her father's true nature and forced to start working to take care of herself, Tina ended up dropping out of high school and working to sustain herself and her father. She tried to message me asking for help, but I had already blocked her on everything by then. I do plan on stepping in to help her eventually, but if I'm going to pour all my money and heart into raising her, I think Tina needs to learn some lessons about the real world before I put her back on track.
Okay, I've finished packing up all your bags and now I want you out of the house by the end of the day. Do you understand me?
What are you talking about? I'm not about to move out of this place. You can't even kick me out. We split the rent 50-50, remember?
I don't care about that. I want you out of my life today, so just shut up and leave already.
You really are a piece of work. Do you know that, Roy? I mean, I'm not even home from work yet and you're trying to kick me out. I won't even have time to pack.
You think I care about what suits you best? Just do as I say and stay out of the house. This is all your fault that it's come to this, so if you're looking for anyone to blame, then why don't you start with yourself?
And just how is any of this my fault? You've got some nerve saying that, you know?
It's because you can't get pregnant, that's why you gotta go. I want a kid and it's clear now that you can't give me one, got it?
But that isn't my fault, Roy. I want a kid too. I'm not happy with how our baby making has gone either.
Yeah, it's not your fault. It's not anyone's fault, is it? Well then, I guess it's not my fault if I kick you out of the house. It's just what happens.
Roy, you are seriously messed up if you think this is even remotely okay. One of these days, something is going to happen that finally knocks you down a peg or two and hopefully puts you in your place.
Just shut up already. Why are you wasting your time talking to me when you could be packing up all your things? I already have the divorce papers, by the way, so make sure you sign them when you get here. And then you can take them and drop them off once you've left the house.
And just why should I have to run around and do something like that, huh? I mean, if you already went through the trouble of packing my bags for me, you can at least finish the job and send off our divorce papers.
There you go again, always trying to share the blame, if not just outright pin it on someone else. You're already going out of the house, so why don't you do it?
You know, I guess I'm just surprised that a weakling like you managed to pack all of my bags and belongings.
What are you talking about? I've been working out. I'm not a weakling.
Oh, really? You work out? Since when do you work out?
Okay, fine, so I hired some movers to pick up your stuff. Is that what you want to hear? Are you happy now?
Well, just as long as you're telling me the truth, that's all that matters to me, really. But I don't really care how you packed my bags, to be honest.
Look, the point is that once you get here, I want you to load up your stuff and get lost. I have some errands to do, so I won't even be in the house. And when I do get back, you better not be there.
Actually, I'm glad this is happening. I've been wanting to divorce you for a long time now. But after I leave, just how are you going to afford the rent on this place? Because I know that you can't afford to live here all on your own.
You don't know anything about what I can or can't do. Don't you underestimate me.
Don't tell me that you're going to ask someone else to pay my half of the rent for you.
Of course I'm not going to do anything like that. Quit jumping to conclusions. I am more than capable of being able to afford this place all on my own. No. I already know that you can't. Not to mention the fact that you're a terrible liar. Who is it? Is there another girl? Is that why you're chasing me out of my own home? Why didn't you just ask for her help in packing up all my stuff? It would have saved you the money you spent on the movers. There you go again, jumping to conclusions. Well, I'm not going to play this game of yours.
But what I don't get is why you feel the need to hide this from me anyways. I mean, we're already getting divorced, right? So what's the point?
I said quit making assumptions about me. You and I are through, so quit asking me questions. I never want to see you again.
You really are just scum. Do you know that, Roy?
Gina, I heard that you moved back in with Mom and Dad. What happened? I was just there visiting with them, but I went home yesterday. I would have stayed longer if I knew that you were coming home.
Well, everything happened yesterday, so I didn't have a chance to give anyone a heads up. But anyways, I'm going to be staying with Mom and Dad for a while, so come over sometime soon and we can talk.
But what happened? Don't tell me that you got into a fight with Roy or something.
Not really a fight per se, but we did decide to get divorced.
You did? Well, that's great news. Congratulations.
Wait, what? Did you read what I just said? Roy and I are getting divorced!
I know, but just think about it. Roy was no good for you at all. I really didn't want to say anything to you beforehand, but you really have just the worst taste in men. And Roy is just another example of that now.
Jeez, did Roy really have that many red flags that I didn't see?
Okay, well, like, even at your wedding, he came off as really arrogant and just really rubbed me the wrong way. To be honest, I couldn't believe that this was the guy that you were going to marry. He just gave me the sense that he would run around on you as soon as you got married.
And you're telling me that I just didn't pick up on any of that? What was I thinking?
Well, I'm sorry. I would have said something, but I figured I was a little late since you two were already married. But I am a bit relieved to hear that things didn't work out for the two of you. I just hope that you can learn from this lesson, sis.
Well, I certainly have learned a lot. But I think I also paid a lot for the lesson. Either way, I suppose I did this to myself, and I take responsibility for it.
Anyways, I'm about to get home, but I would love to call and talk all about what happened.
I would really appreciate that, actually. Let's do that.
Wow, I just really can't believe what a scumbag he was. I mean, that was way worse than anything that I was imagining.
I know, right? I can't believe there's someone like him that really exists in this world. Although, ever since we got married, I got the feeling that he was revealing more and more of his true self. But I just never expected that everything would come to an end the way that it did.
So then what are you going to do now, Gina?
Well, for now I'm going to look for apartments where I can live by myself and just continue with my work, I guess.
No, not about that. I mean, what are you going to do to get back at Roy?
Oh, I don't really care what happens to him at this point. As long as he keeps his distance from me and I never have to deal with him again, I can't really complain.
But Gina, he cheated on you, right? You have to make him pay for that.
I know he did, but I just really don't want to think about that right now. Anyways, I think I know what I really have to do. So don't worry.
What is that supposed to mean? What is it that you have to do?
I'll tell you in person the next time you come over. I'll tell you all about it over a couple of drinks.
I can't believe that you really showed up. I mean, who in their right mind goes to their ex-husband's wedding? You still must really love me, huh?
What are you talking about? You were the one who sent me the invitation, remember? You said that you wanted to see just how bad the years had been to me since we broke up? If you think I can because I still have feelings for you, you're very wrong.
No, please, there's no use in trying to hide it. It's obvious that you still love me. And I really did want to see just how far you'd fallen. It makes for the perfect wedding present.
Honestly, I just came here to bear witness more than anything. I can't help but feel sorry for this poor woman that you tricked into marrying you. There's no way she knows what you're really like.
Of course she does. She's well aware of what a gentleman I am, and we're gonna make a happy family together. So you can bear witness all you want. It's just gonna bum you out, though.
Yeah, I'm sure it will, actually.
I mean, really, to think that my barren old ex-wife would come to see me get married. But on top of that, you had to try and surprise me by pretending to be pregnant.
I actually am pregnant. I'm pregnant with twins right now.
Wait, what? What's that supposed to mean?
It means that I am currently pregnant with 2 children. Do you not know what twins are? I met the father not long after you and I broke up, and we got hitched pretty soon after that.
Wait a second, so are you really pregnant?
That's right. And you know what that means, right? It wasn't me who was the problem when it came to not having any kids.
Wait a second, what is this? What are you trying to say? It's always the girl's fault. Since when has a guy ever not been able to have kids?
Yeah, I think you're not alone in terms of being a guy who feels that way. But there are also plenty of men as well as women who need fertility treatments. Although you are more than content to just blame women for your impotency.
But so that's why you never got pregnant while you were married? Well, whatever. It's not like the only reason why I left you was because I didn't think you could have kids. My new wife is just better than you in every single way. I still come out on top in this.
What are you talking about?
I mean that I was never leaving you because you couldn't have kids. I was always leaving you because I just love my new wife more than I ever loved you. How does that feel? I'll bet it hurts, doesn't it?
Do you seriously just have no shame or something? You literally told me it was because I couldn't have kids, and now you're just making up excuses for yourself. I honestly have no idea what I saw in you or what anyone might ever see in you.
See, the fact that you have to resort to all personal attacks and stuff like that tells me all that I need to know. Well, I don't care because I'm going to be happily married for the rest of my life now.
But you haven't even seen the big surprise that I planned for you.
What surprise are you talking about? I haven't heard of any plans.
Well, yeah, it's a surprise. That was kind of the point. Anyways, maybe you should take a look at the big TV hanging above the hall where everyone is gathered.
The big TV? Oh no, what do you have planned? What are you gonna do, huh?
Oh, just watch and see. It's starting soon.
Wait a second, what is this? What's going on?
Well, this would be a recording of you and your new wife meeting up while you and I were still married. This next clip is of you inviting her over to our home while I had to work late one night.
No, you're lying. You took these after we already broke up. That doesn't prove anything, okay? It's certainly not that I ever cheated on you. Please, you have to tell everyone that this isn't right.
Actually, this video has audio that proves it was while we were still together. Shall we take a listen?
Wait, no, you didn't have to unmute the video!
I knew you were cheating on me for a while before we split up, Roy. So I had our house bugged with microphones and cameras everywhere.
You bugged out our own house? What's the matter with you?
So there's recordings of you telling this other woman that you were packing up my things and were going to kick me out. We hadn't even broken up by that point, and yet you're telling this woman all about your plans to leave me for her.
How could you do this to me?
I felt the same way when I first heard that you were cheating on me. So I did something about it.
Oh, please, just turn it off already.
Why? We're getting to the most shocking part. You never told your wife that you and I were married. She always thought that we were only ever dating and just broke up.
Just make it stop, I'm begging you.
She didn't know anything about any kind of divorce. But at least it explains why you didn't want her helping you pack my things. She might have seen some proof that you and I were actually married.
Just turn it off already. How many times do I have to ask? Of course, my new wife Fiona never knew that she was the other woman. I could never hurt her like that.
Well, now you have hurt her. You were always hurting her because you were lying to her.
But you didn't have to do this. Things were going so well for me.
Maybe if you give me a sincere apology, I'll let you off the hook just this once.
Please, I've already quit my job. If you ruin my marriage, then my life is over.
What are you talking about? Why would you quit your job to get married?
Because my wife's dad is the president of a huge company and I was gonna get a position there through him.
Oh, I see. Well, I can't really see that happening anymore. But good luck with future job prospects.
Come on, you can't do this. There's important people here at my wedding. You've totally ruined my reputation.
And just what did I do exactly?
What didn't you do? You put videos of me for everyone to see. You've ruined everything.
I didn't do anything but show the people here who you really are. Can you please stop trying to play the victim?
I can't believe you would do this to me. All I wanted was a child. Is that really so bad?
It is when you decide to blame the women in your life for something that's your problem.
I know I shouldn't have done that. You're right.
I know I'm right. And I'm going to be suing you for cheating on me while we were married.
What? Are you serious? Haven't you done enough to me already? If you really knew that I was cheating on you this whole time, then why didn't you say something beforehand?
Well, that's because I already wanted to divorce you by then. But when I got your invitation to your wedding, I knew that it was also going to be my chance to show everyone who you really are.
You're crazy! No sane person would do something like this!
Well, it wasn't just me. I had a lot of help from my little sister in arranging this. Oh my, it seems like people are getting up to leave the wedding.
Oh no, where did my wife go? I mean, she isn't even my wife yet, but we were so close. I can't find her anywhere.
I think that she probably learned a very valuable lesson. And hopefully you've learned one too, Roy. Although I think the consequences for yours are going to be a bit worse than your almost wife's. After that, the wedding quickly fell apart and the couple-to-be did not end up getting married. Unfortunately, it being the day of the wedding, there was no way to cancel what had already been reserved, and Roy had to pay for it all. I hear the whole affair cost nearly $100,000. Then, he was also sued by his would-be wife for lying to him during their engagement. And that was only after I had taken my share for Roy's cheating during our marriage. By the end of it all, Roy was left with barely a penny to his name. He had no other choice but to go and live with his parents. Except they didn't want him back home either. I have no idea what he's up to now. As for me, I had my twins a few weeks ago and I'm still staying with my parents who, along with my sister, are helping take care of them while I search for a place that can fit us all.